Showed up to get it back.
Instead of having the commissioners that think we're in...
To the flag of the United States of America.
Folks, please refrain from a...
You have made it a choice of taking away our legal right, the legal right to be Americans. Now you have turned around and you want to make it your right. You are not, we are not Russia or China or any other country that's under communist rule. We are in the United States of America.
This proposal that you're making is actually hurting people. You think about what you're doing before you do it.
Now, you five commissioners, several of you have been on the board for many, many years, and you've heard we, the people, say no.
As long as zoning was for protecting individuals' rights and for making life better for them, I'd be for it. I've lived in places where there was zoning, and I was happy for it. I'm not sure that's the case here, though.
Acknowledge the arrogance of some on the board there that's been getting the newspaper here lately.
Well, I'm one of the county's largest individual taxpayers. Here's some of your tax receipts. That check on the first one was for $46,000.
I'd just like to say that zoning ain't right. I don't think we need it. Because 3 people want zoning. How many of y'all want zoning? 2, 3. We got a few. But that's it, man. We don't want it. I mean, what else we got to do?
Please, when you vote, do not vote your personal desires. Vote for the people in this room. Once again, show the hands that do not want zoning. Hold them up. Leave them up. Leave them up. This is no zoning wanting.
Don Yelton, North Buncombe, and this is something that I want to share with the commissioners in a minute. But we're having a public hearing where if we speak within 3 minutes, and where if we don't clap our hands, and where if we don't mention names, we can say what we want to say. That, my friends, is not a public hearing. That's a controlled meeting. Now, let's go on, Nathan. They stopped clapping because it is an orchestrated meeting, but it's the same kind of meetings you had when you went around to each of the schools. Let's hear what we've heard today. We have heard today that South Buncombe has been the longest zoned place in Buncombe County. Where are more of your adult bookstores at? South Buncombe. Which area of Buncombe County has the worst traffic congestion of any area in Buncombe County? South Buncombe. And in South Buncombe, we had a farm that the neighbors loved, and somebody that owned that farm sold that farm and then turned around and put 70-some houses on it, and then the developer that bought it rezoned it to 300 and some houses, and I think the neighbors were very upset, Ms. Peters. And by the way, that was a zone area. Now, we also have in South Buncombe right here, I'll show you this. It says exempt from Buncombe County Land Development and Subdivision Ordinances 8/1997 Jim Coleman. That's what your zoning director can do for you. He can say none of the things you're applying applies if the person that's got that land has got the proper connections. And the man that's got that proper connections is the old CTS property, and I'll have this all outside if any of the press want to take the time to look at it. Now, let's have a vote. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty, and let's look at the real issue, because David Young, for you, I just found out. River Basin-based taxation is a possibility. Yes, I've talked to some attorneys. I received a letter from Wanda Green saying it wasn't true, but based upon the way Joe Conley did the deal for the landfill down in Woodford and the way he did the transmapping thing and didn't have a termination clause in it, I don't think your advice was too good. River Basin-based taxation, rewarding the developer doing the proper thing, is a viable option. It removes the probability of zoning, and you don't have to tell your neighbor what to do. If the lady who said this farm she liked, you heard what the person said that was for zoning. Well, my son had to sell his farm and move 50 miles, but boy, did he get a lot of money for it. That's what's going to happen to your farm up there, ma'am, in Riceville, when the zoning forces that owner to sell it. The property owners can take better care of it than anybody on this board. And guess what? My time is running out, but you know who else's time is running out? The people that vote for zoning will be thrown out of office in less than 2 years.
Is it not y'all's job to represent us? Where in that does it say dictate? We don't need zoning. We don't need you to tell us what to do. If people would just spend more time minding their own business on their own property than what their neighbors are doing. And I agree 100% with the arrogance of our two David. You have no business sitting on this board. Thank you.
It says, the General Assembly must grant county commissioners and city councils the right to hold referendums or issues. When these requests are granted, the local taxpayers must pay for it. We pay for everything else, why not pay for a vote? And then here's the majority of the voters, that's 84.5%, David, registered voters, didn't vote. But 15% voted against it, well, voted in for it. And that's pretty substantial, isn't it? And yet you went along with it. And you made the comment that we were going to, after the election, I told residents that I accepted the decision.
1 minute.
And did not support to bring the issue up for 7 years. When was that statement made? I don't remember hearing that in 2000 or 2004. When was that made, David?
Mr. Young, if he votes for zoning, it's going to make him more money, and that's why it's a conflict of interest.
The reason I say combat is 2 members here that are going to vote for zoning tonight, and basically they're acting like the comrades of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the United States. Basically, they're going to ram down zoning down to people whether they like it or not. They're sitting there laughing. We have the staff here talking amongst themselves. They don't give it down what we said.
I don't know what y'all are doing. We asked not to zone. We don't want zoning. Please give us a vote.
Seems that the Beaver Dam was out of my price range, and now that I'm making more money, I can't afford Beaver Dam. When I didn't make much money, I could. The difference is, Beaver Dam was zoned. Now, you know, they got the same rules as the city of Asheville. It was just like living, you know, in Asheville. But the horse farm is gone, and it's disappeared since the zoning. So the lady was worried about the cow pasture. Zoning's not going to stop that.
Good evening, my name is Savannah Nesbitt, and I live in Leicester, and I would like to let you know that by not letting us vote is taking away our freedom of speech. Thank you.
Thank you.